September 14th, 10:15 a.m. I've got an email! Yes, please. I dig the graphics. It kind of feels like I'm playing a minimalistic Barbie game. I don't know why. I like the pink. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly gonna be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps with some more heavy lifting. Ever heard that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Mortician. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy's a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle. I'm sure she wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck. Matthew J., Funeral Director, Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director. I feel like I need just like a pile of crystals somewhere on my desk. I mean, I could take off my rocks and just like place them down on my desk if I really wanted. I feel like I might want a candle. I mean, this is gonna make the room even hotter, but like, it feels so atmospheric. Especially the music. You can be my wolf. You can bark for me. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so probably best I explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. Yeah, I figured that out. I really love the flame, but it is far too hot to have candles on, so I'm just gonna really admire it up close and probably cinch my eyebrows and then blow it out because nice temperature. Temperature! Control yourself! I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we're business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's just not something I really think about that much. I should look more into this. Learn more about your world and industry because, as I said, you're now a very serious professional. Speaking of being professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London and not London on serial killer capital of Canada to work in a museum. What do you mean? Hold up, you can bark for me. You can be my sound effect. Like, take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and then hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funerals monthly newsletter. Deals are a thing. Consider it your graduation gift. Love you. I'm super proud of you, gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen All, Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. Hello, Charlie. Hope you're settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly, and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Ah yes, I am still alive! Thumbs up. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia. Garcia! An elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes a thing easier. Is that's possible? That being said, although you will not be embalming Miss Murs, because I can't speak English. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and the loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon, Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. Ari, special request for my mother's funeral. Dear Mia, of course we will be happy to oblige your request for no embalming and for closed casket. I'll ensure your funeral director receives your request. Take care. Dear Amy, we're happy to be with Rose and daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not embalm my mother, that would be greatly appreciated, and we will proceed with a closed casket. For the service, I just know she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it would be a shame to have her final moments be counter to the way that she lived. Thank you for anything you can do to help us in this matter. Best? Yeah. And I'm just gonna click down here first, because this is a letter before, like, we're gonna accept that one. There is a Mortician channel on YouTube that I watch. Let me find it. Find that. Whoa, no, that's my work music. Work music, please do not play. I don't want to get copyright striked. Probably in my subscription somewhere. And I sound like a very annoying brat. I hope that YouTube did not unsubscribe me again from random people without me asking them to, because I hate when they do that. I mean, seriously, I don't have that much subscriptions. That would be very weird if they did. Yeah, Caitlin Doughty. Caitlin Doughty runs a channel called Ask a Mortician. And she is very death positive, and it is honestly a very, very nice channel that I wholeheartedly recommend. It's kind of reminding me of her for some reason, probably because the whole death thing. I dig the music though, this is so chill. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we will bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are! Because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time and we understand that, but here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally following the guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but this time it's a place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do so inside the funeral home. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways. Just remember to be respectful when with the grieving family and friends. Happy reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experience with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple, "I'm thinking of you," can go a long way. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect for the deceased and their grieving family. Give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can even be just cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and helpful. Well, sure thing. Let me just clean up poor dead. And this nice old lady over here. Let me make her nice and squeaky clean. Oh, wow. This is gonna play... Oh, I remember Newsgrounds games that made you do shit like this. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you're just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge! Oh. Well, thank you for telling me what is the sponge. Now, who splashed the poor lady in little clouds? That's it, you're done. Miss Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of the dressing. putting the funeral together. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. We're responsible for taking care of the deceased's body, but it is also important to pay your respects to the loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. Ah yes, this is where the tips come in place. Number 1, let's not get drunk. I'll do a small bow. Usually don't small talk a lot of these things, at least that's what I was always taught. She would have hated these paintings, she was so peculiar. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm sorry for not decorating the salon for you, I couldn't do that. Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Did those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer, and that's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it! Don't make me laugh right now. Jesus, you guys, you're really cheery. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. This is such an appropriate conversation for the funeral. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. I will miss the free sweaters. Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? Oh, they're having a good time. So my job's done. Everybody gets to have a good time at this funeral. Hello, email. I see you there. I am so frustrated right now. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing this type lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum from a woman who died in 1907. And the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and when people associated with fainting or hysteria, sigh, it's actually been associated with seproptosis, which is when the organs fall the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but can also be caused by being pregnant. So, too long didn't read. Forces probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kind of things I specifically research, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie! Well, I mean... phone net is not a good net. Just have a chillax evening. Have a bath. Even if it's in the middle of the night and people would get angry at you for it. Can I just rant for a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, and anybody cough, male colleagues cough, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse. So it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist bullshit anyways. And like, I hate how their misogyny gets wailed in facts concern. Jen, I'm so worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email a little bit when I'm cooled off a bit. Jan Al, Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, but kind smile and refrain from making inappropriate jokes. At least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during such hard times. Who are we to judge? And a big part of of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning though. And if you're attending a funeral, this is from a culture that is not your own. It is important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and Chinese cultures, white is a typical color for funerals. For Islam, though, it's less about the color you're wearing and more about how modestly you're dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the #1 rule for any funeral, no matter what really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you are attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you're supposed to be wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respect. So if I'm throwing a funeral for one of my relatives, can I throw a party? Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed in a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us. I am boiling. So we had to at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, While we're in the procession going to the cemetery, somebody in their car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know how to not get in the way of procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into a friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing, just laughing her ass off. In that way, that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone full off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all started giggling because, go figure, life's messed up sometimes, There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remember that story and wanted to tell you because we work with death all the time and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I become a funeral director. The decision came totally later and nothing unremarkable. Somebody has got to do it, and I have a strong stomach. So why not? I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. Matthew. Just passing this message along. Thank you for your hard work, Charlie. Hi, Amy. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for a wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. Well, we're not a funeral owner. We're the person that prepares the bodies. And it's because this bundle had a lot of games, and a lot of games offer a lot of experiences. Sad games, happy games, wholesome games. We had a bit of everything in life. And out of this game, I really love the color choices, the graphic style, the fact that there's a lot of pink. The music is so soothing, and their emails are quite entertaining. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way. And I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Oh, apparently we are a funeral director. Maybe. Maybe? I don't know. We work in funerals. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Hi Charlie, here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one. Yeah, I brushed it off with a sponge. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval, an elderly man, died of old age. Nothing fancy, just standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter Lizzie Duel if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me questions. Best Emmy Rose. Yes, Charlie dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. Promise I won't mother you too much, well, just a little. Ask Matthew. But I am the good dog, Steve. I am the good dog. Well, I am in my doctor gear. Time to stick some chemicals up this guy's ass. Preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing quickly. Unless family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Is that maggots on him? I have questions. Did they rub off? That's also a question. Okay, razor. Oh, that's his hair. Okay. Well, do we really need a bald man? Should I shave his head too? Alrighty then. One nice last massage. The eyes deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap into each eye socket. Give them shape. Keep the eyes shut. We need to glue them. Click and drag the glue. Eye to shut it. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag cotton ball into the mouth to give it shape. Oh god, suture it shut. To be fair, yeah, they do a lot of tricks with the body, including like sometimes just like almost nailing the jaw or like gluing it from inside out. Because normally corpse mouths just sags and people find that disturbing, but we really shouldn't. Well, at least the corpse will get some very good moisturizing. You don't want to be unmoisturized on your last journey. Ah! Drain the corpse of blood. Oh, mummification sounds really spicy. I would like to be burned at the stake in the middle of like the town. So not like a private... Not a private incineration in like the incinerator. No, in the middle of the town. Let's look like a proper witch, eh? Let's make it really disturbing for everyone and let's make the place smell like corpse. Cannula. Okay. Drag it onto the carotid artery. Now you need to connect the embalming machine to the cannula. Additional tubing. Ah yes! I don't actually know where to put this tube, goddammit. There we go. Ah. It's just one button, just on. Ah, one last massage for this guy. You know what, why not? And maybe somebody screaming not the bees. We're giving this body a great massage. I wonder how forceful am I being. I hope his skin isn't like going away for this. You know, we're doing this on a fake corpse and I'm getting a tiny bit queasy. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's being explained in like big detail. There we go. Well, your corpse is ready. One fresh corpse coming up. Anybody want a tasty? Please no. Let me bow to the corpse. Humming to himself. He's just on his PSP, just a kid just playing something. Oh, I remember. There were a couple funerals that I was in. One was for my grandfather's brother, which was too decomposed to have an open casket. I remember my family saying that they were scrubbing the apartment for 3 days because it was covered in fleas. Rather in maggots and flies. They wanted to take me to help with the scrubbing, but then my mother was like, no, are you serious? She's gonna get ill. Because I didn't have a great immune system, so I didn't get to participate in that. He had some parrots, some of them survived, despite the fact that he died in his apartment and they didn't get into there for a couple days, so some friends took them. The other one was for one of my great-grandmothers. And all I remember was that, it was like looking at a wax figure. It's why I wouldn't go for embalming myself. It didn't resemble the person anymore. So yeah, they looked nice and presentable and they didn't look like a corpse, but you may as well have just made a wax imprint of them and put them there. That's the kind of feeling that I got. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember, I haven't gone to many traditional funerals, so mostly white, but like definitely not red, no matter what. Came out of nowhere, I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and then next, poof, the person is gone, just like gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about for too long, like staring at the sun. I start to feel all fuzzy when I think about it. I'm sorry, first of all, do you practice staring at the sun often? And secondly, why are you getting fuzzy all when you think about this? About anything, actually, fuzzy just implies a nice feeling. What? So weird. How our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. The fuck? You two. You're the weird ones. Oh wow! Whole month has passed. I suppose months do pass. I do like one funeral a month. This is definitely... I'm a great worker. They pay me money to do one funeral a month. Let's start from the bottom letter, eh? If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by families and have had their hair cut and buried under the wrong names and subjected to wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care, and this absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the wishes as per their lived experiences. I'm gonna not read the rest of this, but yeah, this is an actual issue. It's also an actual issue for gay people, which is why marriage is such a big right. Because if you die and you have lived with a partner and you're not married, whatever you told him to do with your body upon your death is overruled by your family. Because technically they own your body, because you were never married. So there were times where people lived as husband and husband or wife and wife for years, decades. And then at the funeral, their spouse couldn't even see them. The same problem extends if your significant other collapses and they go to medical treatment. You can't do medical treatment. You know, you wouldn't need to make it into diamonds. Take some ashes, incorporate it into jewelry. Either have a thing that's like a hollow capsule filled with some ashes, or melt it into the metal itself, or preserve it in any other way, and yeah, carry it around with you. Nothing wrong with that. But then again, I am also a really, really weird person. So I wouldn't see anything wrong with a lot of things. I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've only been with us for a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mom and pop-up like Rose and daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so I'm going to grab some food before taking the hearse through the car wash. 2 birds, 1 stone. And swing back to the home. Do you want anything, beef and cheddar? Cheddar! I'm going to take the hearse through the drive-thru, of course. It freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. Paycheck coming late. Sorry. Hey, Matthew, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income and don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut your paycheck for next week instead? If you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing. And I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. I assure you it won't happen again. Take care, Amy Rose. Funeral troubles. Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know you hate when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody new since the breakup of 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask about your day, so maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea. Promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy gothy aesthetics and super hot right now, but vitamin D is a good thing. Oh, I agree. I have capsules here. I mean, I would be leaning to the sweet bit. Then again, I would literally have a skeleton in my room of another person and treat them with kindness and respect. Would be completely fine living around that, and most people would probably just be like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that. And I would be like, why not? Mom rant over. I'm going to try it out because it turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. You know how not interesting other people find teratomas? Charlie, I didn't even know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who's as much of a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine from our next Skype date. Yes, if you sign up for Dead Mate. Isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Then the rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works just yet though. Jen Lee, Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Hi Amy, thank you for your wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad I have having seen him off in such a good way. Hey Charlie, today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Yeah, I'm on it. I like how this game is trying to educate me on how to burn the bodies. I will never use this information, but it is a very information-filled game. We have to prepare the body. Miss Hall's family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It is important to remove these before the cremation process as to not damage them. Let's start by removing the necklace. You need to be able to identify Miss Hall's remains after she has been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and place it in the coffin. Ah! she's all set. Why did we have scalpel and scissors? I'm afraid. Boop! Off the hot burning machine it goes. Now let me just take the urn. This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Using the cremulator will break those bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Let's start by placing the urn in the cremulator. The thing is, I wouldn't even like want my bones ashed. Bones are cool. Now that all bones have been processed, click and drag the urn back onto the counter. Ah, we're burying the necklace with her, I suppose. And the tag. So this is like a surprise box, except it's somebody's remains. Like, you open it up, you rummage around, and there's a surprise inside. Let's just walk over there. Ah, this is very pretty. I wonder who's taking the body back home. Let me just bow. Hello. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. You see, I don't know who's setting up these funeral parols, but apparently they're doing a bad job because people are hating the music, people are hating the paintings. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to like take these kind of requests, and I don't know why I can't help these people because they're always like super bitchy, but then they send an email saying a big thank you, and I'm like, but you didn't like it. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. Good attitude. Everybody should have that attitude with life. Never give up because it never gets easy. And you know, we're not letting life kick her asses, we're kicking life's asses, no matter life likes it or not. Glad she was cremated and not like in an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. Nothing wrong with disease-riddled bodies. None of us are gonna look nice in death, just saying. This is nice in a weird way. She would like that we're all here talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that that's weird, but those crab cakes are perfect. I know, like sad music! No tasties. What's up with that? Ah! Oh wow, we're skipping through months like it's hotcakes. We're skipping through months like it's hotcakes. At least it looks like we're actually doing work, but it's just like having like one email a year. Probably the wrong description. I am not gonna be playing all of Mortician's Tale. I will probably be stopping it about here. But I am gonna be sitting... Actually, I'm just gonna click into email and I'm just gonna sit on the email screen for a while. Just so that we can listen to a nice music instead of the email popping it out. I feel like this is a very common educational game, and I feel like they put in a lot of care into it. There's not a lot of choices that come into it, but you can learn about the process of preserving corpse. I don't know, maybe there's some choices down the line. You also get to learn about the difficulties and issues surrounding the death industry and surrounding people's death choices. I mean, this Steven, do you look like a goth girl? Because I do, and the character does. And yeah, that's a plus. I like the color scheme. I think it's absolutely amazing. I love the pink. It's so calm. Like, you would think it would be sad. It's not actually sad. It's kind of relaxing. It's kind of my smaller passion hobbies here. Smaller because I have a lot. I have a lot. But my smaller passion hobby here is studying about death industry, even though obviously I'm not gonna go into it. Like I said, I'm watching Ask a Mortician because it's interesting, okay? I'm also probably not gonna recreate Roman food, yet I still watch channels to do with that. So I enjoy the amount of work that they put into this, the amount of detail that they put into this, the messages, how nice the messages are and everything. I think it's a cool game. I mean, we did get to see you with your doggo. And yeah, I don't think that you would be confused for a girl. You physically look more adult than you sound. If that helps in any way, shape, or form. You sound rather jolly, you look like you're a 30-year-old. People tend to like to look older though. Until they get old. And then they would like to look younger. So it's fine. So yeah, this has been Mortician's Tale. The all other rules of other videos people on YouTube apply. If you want me to review anything specific from the Palestine bundle, go ahead. Put it in the description down below. Let's see some more games! Well, we like seeing games. I like games. Do you like games too? If so, we have something in common.